evidence. It's not in the air. It's not on the breeze, and it's not in the trees, and it's not in your hair. It's in Phoenix Wright's hair. Hold on, I told myself I would remember what was happening. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to give? Oh yeah. Okay, so we just proved that Lana Skye might have killed him, and that was the opposite of what we wanted to do. So, what do I do? How am I supposed to? Hold on, I wasn't ready to start voice acting yet. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright. Now I'm ready to start voice acting. How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? I don't know what I'm gonna do if I object, but what can I lose, right? One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Nope, of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Correct. That's correct. That's right. That's Phoenix, right. Okay. That's accurate. The murder was not shown right there. I did not see a murder. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Correct, because we found evidence, specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? Jake Marshall. Jake Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Nodders. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witnesses subpoenaed. I would know that word if I heard it spoken. Subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. Yippee, recess! What's up, Lana? There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out.
Lana, you're the one who knows everything.
Emma?
You always know everything. Why didn't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Hey, Gumshoe. Oh my gosh, did you see how she looked at him? Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. It's okay. No, come back. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And on top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident?
But Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Aha. Files for the Joe Dark killings, solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma! But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that...
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings.
The... Joe Dark... No. No, Lana! That's over with! No!
Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Is that... Oh, no. I have a suspicion that's the serial murder that, like, maybe their parents died in or something. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, and Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. Am I gonna have to do this without Emma? Wait, are we hopping right back into it? Yes, save. Oh no, Emma's not standing next to us. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a wandering man, same as you, a wanderer in the trials of civilization. None of those words I said were right, but it still works.
Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct?
According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime in plain old English. No, that's not gonna happen, is it? My job was to keep a wary eye on the Bone Orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds there 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail.
So basically, he was saying that he was supposed to be guarding the evidence room, but he was at some kind of saloon, and then, but that's okay because the security camera and the security card swipe system should have protected it just fine without him. Got it.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? The card swipe and the cameras?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Guys, I'm from the South myself, so I know about all these slang terms that he's using, you see. Yes. Well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
Oh, he said prosecutor. He didn't say prospector. What is this?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Nah, he's just misunderstood. Bone Orchard. He's gonna be like, a bone orchard, what do you mean by that? And he's gonna be like, well, the place where they put all the dead bodies or whatever, blah, 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 blah. How exactly do you keep an eye on the evidence room? Oh no, he knew what he meant.
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who entered the recordings.
You entered them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes ought to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't doing him any good. So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room?
They said I was supposed to make rounds there 3 times a day, but that ain't my style, right?
That's why we didn't see him card swiping in. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
No desperados I know join the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
And there was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker.
Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
How does this guy avoid being fired? Because the police force is corrupt. And what's his name? Police Chief Gant is the murderer. Come on, keep up. We know about the 2 security systems, so... You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Of course. Back in my day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism?
Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
That's quite, incredible. I mean, I couldn't tell you how a bike works either. Like, I know that it works by pedaling the pedals, but I don't know how that all functions together to make you move. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to the case. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? Yeah, why were you there? What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongol sepia pasta.
Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
Not all desperados eat tacos, partner.
I'm gonna let that one slide.
That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want a raise this year?" That's my British accent as Phoenix, okay? Leave me alone. Yeah, if you're out of ammo. What do you mean if you're out of ammo, though? Out of ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back up north to the other tip of China.
What?
One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd better keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. How do you mean? How do you mean? How do you mean? Oh, okay, let me read this. Incident number SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime serial murder, sentence death. Victims were Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. So nobody by the last name Sky. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses were Lana Sky and Emma Sky. How did they witness this? Just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time? It seems like there's more to it than that. Executive investigators were Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Bruce Goodman was the head investigator, and he's the victim in this case. And then Jake Marshall and Angel Starr were investigators. Okay. I'm guessing this is where I have to present my evidence, because he says if you're out of evidence, I'm gonna go back to my steel horse. But I don't know exactly what to press. I mean, what evidence to present. So, hold on. The videotape. There was video evidence, and he didn't do anything about it. Objection! Your Honor, that statement, come on, there was video evidence. He didn't do anything about it. Oh, wait, I should totally have saved. Whoops. Supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, keep a wary eye on the promoter. Okay, he said he wanted to wait before presenting the bloody handprint. But I don't know what else to present. Objection! The time stopped. I mean, the music stopped. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? Oh, yeah, he said he didn't go in the room. But his bloody handprint was there. I mean, how old can that stuff be, though? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you dragged me down here anyway.
Explain yourself, partner. Nodders. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint.
Ha! Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Nopers. I only wish you were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Do we know that they were?
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall?
About the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well. You may begin your testimony about the fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
Okay. I feel like there was something else I was supposed to present before this, but I mean, I'm advancing the story. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Would he have known about the culprit wearing gloves? I'm gonna press him on everything. That's because you, how did you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That, and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
Wait, which locker was yours when you were a detective and which is the one you still use? I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever even knowing it. Yeah, on Marshall's own locker. Okay. I kind of guessed that. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. So then, what about the bloody handprint?
Wasn't mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened.
Yeah, that's what you say, but it was pretty well lined up. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why?
Why are they unrelated? Unrelated?
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murderer.
He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Okay. How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh, yeah. I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape.
So long as my trial isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
My trail isn't in there, probably?
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
It wasn't you in that video. We don't know that. We never saw his face. We never saw his face. I'm gonna present him the video. What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime? Isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
But that video is next to useless! It's full of blind spots!
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. And you know who would be familiar? The security guard.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
I would love to, Your Honor. I'd love to. You know what? I think I will. I think I saw something in that video. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
Let me fast forward a bit here. So, there was only one time when we could kind of see anything on this guy. Hold on, how do I... Okay, I'll pause like this, here. No, hold on. Was it here? No. It was, Okay, take a look at that sideburn. Hold on. This is probably not it, right? Hold on, but we got a better look over here. Right there. What are we looking at there? Is that a part of his coat? Was his locker open? No. He's never really slashing him. Like using the knife. He charges up, but he grabs him, throws him that direction, and punches him. Oh, I guess this was a slash. Just kidding. That was the slash he did on his hand. I gotta be real. I'm not sure. I'm gonna present this because... I mean, I don't know. It looks like you can almost see a bit of his face, and I don't know what this black rectangle is. There! How's that for evidence?
Please allow me to apologize for my colleague, Your Honor. He gets carried away sometimes.
Yes, well, this certainly isn't the first.
Will you forgive him too, Officer Marshall? He's not a bad man, just a bit delusional.
Of course. I'm not one to gun down unarmed boys.
Oh, great. Now Edgeworth is defending me. Guess that means I missed the mark. Yeah.
Let's get back to the cross-examination.
Really? So did I have one chance to find something in the tape? Like, was there anything in the tape? Gosh, am I going about this all wrong? I just clicked that there's no evidence in the video, and I'll see if maybe this leads me somewhere, but I have a feeling it's just gonna lead me right back to where I have to find evidence for his other testimony, so I'm not sure. I might be walking right into Officer Marshall's trap. I better try and find out a little more information.
It seems we should be moving back to the testimony.
Very well. Officer Marshall, can you please give your testimony again?
It's natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We only know that there was a blood-stained handprint there because we did luminol testing fluid. How would he know that it was his locker that the bloodstained handprint was on. Unless he knew how the bloodstained handprint got there because he was there or he did it, right? Because it was wiped clean, so he shouldn't know which locker it was on, right? So what do I present to get him to say that? The luminol testing fluid? He's never said it this way before, but the music is still going, so I feel like that's wrong. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I'll have to penalize you, Mr. Wright. I must be on the wrong track? On the wrong track. Does that mean I'm presenting evidence on the wrong part of the testimony? Didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Oh shoot, I didn't mean to press. The print had been wiped. Maybe I used this as evidence again, just on a different thing. Because how would he know? If the print was wiped, how would he know which one we're talking about? Hold on. Let me check the video again. Hold on. No. Hold on. Do you see that? Check it again. Officer Marshall was in there. And do you want to know why? Well, let me show you why. Hold it! What do you mean by that? You want to time into this crime, isn't that right, partner? Yep, hold on. Okay, so the camera's panning back and forth. Yep. Hold on. Just let me get to where I can pause and fast forward and show evidence. Okay. Allow me to point out your mistake. Your mistake. I should have known from that. Boom. Hold on. Pause. Rewind. Reverse it. Notice anything strange on Jake Marshall's locker? Particularly right here? How there's nothing sticking out of it? Let me show you something. Let me just show you a little something as we go a little further. Oh, there's still nothing there? Interesting. Well, there's a bit of a kerfuffle going on in here. Still nothing, right? Two people just walked past his locker. Nothing there. There's a bit of a fight going on. Oh, there's still nothing. Now you might think, oh, so then nothing happened, right? Well, at the very end, the murderer is gone, slips out of the room somehow, slips out of the room without getting caught by the camera, and something sticking out of the locker? Gasp. How do I present? E. Take that! Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Nodders. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. I mean, technically that's 10 words because very well was included in there, but that's fine.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Oh, that locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witness's, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Okay. Could you rewind it any faster? Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera turned away. Order. It would seem that's the only—
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker is open? That doesn't mean I'm the only one. I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why's everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it.
What did I just prove? No, not my badge. Okay, I'll prove it.
Ha! Fingerprint sensor.
Nodders, we talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say? In 8 words or less. Oh, got him. What are you eating? Some beef jerky?
I only got one word for you, partner. No! Order! Witness, explain yourself! If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Olay! Please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it.
Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Sorry, I didn't realize I was judge. The killer, Your Honor. The killer.
Oh, Officer Marshall is standing right here. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory. Your chamber's empty, partner. Better reload.
What? Now they're ganging up on me.
Perhaps you should think a little more about where Officer Marshall was.
Officer Meekins should have seen him in the evidence room. That means the only place he could have been would be...
Well then, let's hear it.
Huh? I thought we were saying that he was the one who dressed up as Detective Bruce Goodman. Like, behind here? Behind here? Like, where are we saying? In here? I really don't know what we're saying. Office Marshal was standing right here!
What? So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost incredible.
Okay. I mean, the only place that he could have been that Meekins wouldn't have seen him would be like behind the lockers back there, right? Because Meekins walks up, gets knocked that way, gets knocked against that. He wouldn't have seen him there. Which side do they cross the Blue Badger on? In front of it? Is that in front? It doesn't really show us. Could he be behind the Blue Badger? But the Blue Badger isn't marked on the map. But he's at the corner of this here locker. Okay. Sorry, I had to load a save, by the way. That's why I was back at the video. I didn't die, but I was very low, so I wanted to be sure not to die. I really appreciate games that let you save whenever you want. After I've been playing Danganronpa Mob, it's nice. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yeah, Officer Meekins. Yeah, Officer Meekins. Oh, they have Officer Meekins as the killer. I forgot because they were saying that he killed Goodman. Right. The victim was, yeah. He was the victim, Your Honor. Oh no. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Nopers. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman.
But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his ID card, sir. Pull out a knife, yep. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence. He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. It seems you're the only one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well.
Let's take another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth.
Yeah, so the thing he put inside was Detective Goodman's jacket, because that was white, and it probably was a hard fit in his locker because it was so huge.
Please show us why the witness blah 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 blah.
And he couldn't just like go out in the open wearing that afterwards because it had a bunch of blood. I think I'm gonna present the bloody part of it. But it had a bunch of blood on it from Meekins attacking him and him cutting Meekins' hand and then Meekins' bloody hand getting on him, you know. We'll see the bloody part over here. There you go. For some reason, you disguised yourselves as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white cloth you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white cloth. Coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now. Now wouldn't we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. It seems the time has come.
We're gonna do this testimony next time on Phoenix Wright. I've already been recording for an hour, but most of that was me wandering around aimlessly trying to find things. I didn't look up any walkthroughs. I never do, unless I say that I do. I'm always transparent about that. So I'm really proud of myself for actually finding the thing in that video. You guys have told me this is like one of the harder parts of the game is this video portion. Like, not a lot of people liked the video part, finding the evidence in the video part, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job, honestly. I found 4 separate pieces of evidence proving things, and I've did it all without any help, so yeah, I'm just kind of cool like that. But if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, comment, and like the video, and then like the video, and then comment and like the video. Ring the bell icon is the last one that I forgot, but that's not very important if you don't want to. So, do all the other 3 things, but just, I mean, you can do the ringing of the bell icon if you want to, but definitely do the other 3 things. And then I'll see you in the next video, okay? All right.
Peace out.